Hello, and thanks for joining us for this video case tip. I'm Bryn McBride of ABC for Health. Today we're talking about the Cruz Amendment. Now this is a new amendment issued to the Better Care Reconciliation Bill, the Senate GOP healthcare bill that's in front of the U.S. Senate right now that has not been voted on because the senators weren't all in agreement of what it should look like. So Senator Ted Cruz, along with Utah Senator Lee, got together and created what they call the consumer freedom option. This is part of the larger ACA repeal and replace mentality that is within the U.S. House and Senate right now. And let's take a little bit closer look at what this consumer freedom option actually does. Well, it essentially allows insurance companies to sell what's called skimpier plans. It's written in such a way that it says if you are an insurance company and you sell at least one plan that is ACA compliant, that means it follows the essential health benefits and doesn't discriminate against people with pre-existing conditions, then you have free rein to sell plans that do discriminate against people with pre-existing conditions. It's called freedom plans. These are skimpier plans. They're supposed to be cheaper and offer less benefits. These plans might sound familiar. This is what we had before the Affordable Care Act was introduced. They used to be called junk insurance plans because they were cheap, they didn't cover much, and when people actually needed to use their insurance, that's when they found that it didn't cover what they needed. That's when people started paying out of pocket. They just dropped their insurance, uncompensated care went up, and there created this need for the Affordable Care Act to try to rein in the insurance companies and make sure that they were covering at least the essential health benefits. The individual mandate then made sure that people with pre-existing conditions would not be discriminated against and could buy the same insurance. This is essentially giving insurance companies a path around the regulations imposed by the Affordable Care Act. What is it going to do? It's going to increase premiums for those with pre-existing conditions. The people that need the coverage will buy the compliant plans, and they will pay a lot more for those compliant plans than the skimpier, cheaper plans that the consumer freedom option is proposing. A new analysis from the Kaiser Family Foundation says that this is going to impact over 1.5 million people with pre-existing conditions. I think that estimate is low. I think that's the direct initial impact. This is going to impact everybody. You're going to see the cost of compliant plans go way up if we start selling cheaper plans that don't cover essential health benefits. You're going to see rationing come back and adverse selection. This is where insurers are tweaking plans to only attract the healthiest individuals, which means the sicker individuals are going to end up by its nature into sicker, smaller pools. It's going to be like creating high-risk pools all over again, but the high-risk pools will be the ACA compliant plans. The return to the bad old days of insurance. It erodes essential health benefits, and like I said before, we're going to see an increase in uncompensated care if this becomes law. Now, we are not there procedurally yet. Ted Cruz and Senator Lee have introduced this. They passed around palm cards that laid out their freedom plan options, and the Senate has not yet voted on the Better Care Reconciliation Act overall with or without amendments. Now, Mitch McConnell has said he wants that vote to happen before the senators go on their August recess. We'll see if that actually comes to fruition or not. There will be a lot more discussion about this in the steps moving forward. You can read this yourself. You can read the little palm card that has the entirety of the language on it. You can read that Kaiser Family Foundation analysis that I referenced, and then we give you some media links where they go into a little bit more detail on this story. You can also share your own Affordable Care Act story, what it means to have protections if you do have pre-existing conditions, or to have Medicaid if that's been a benefit to you. You can click on that information button and share your story, or send us an email at healthwatchwisconsin.org. Thanks for joining us.